Welcome to Hook and Chat with Anniegurumi and our friends at Hobium Yarns. Hi friends, it's Annie from Anniegurumi again, and we are in week 10 of Hook and Chat with me and my friends at Hobium Yarns. So it is the last one for now because I have some things. I've suddenly got a bit busy. Nothing bad, just a lot of things that I have to do. But I'm going to take some time off after this episode to kind of plan out the next part of Hook and Chat. So you gave me a lot of suggestions, and so I'm going to try to make some of them happen. So I need some time to plan. So I thank you so much for your understanding. But today I'm just going to be working on my own little project here while I'm chatting away with you guys, and I hope you don't mind. I hope you have a coffee or a tea or your preferred beverage. Sorry, those are my notes because I'm trying to make something here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and chat. I know last week and a few weeks prior I was saying that I've run out of things to talk about, as it can happen sometimes. But, I have some good news. My son has gone back to school half day, which is really, really lovely, to be honest, because, he's been missing his friends. And it seems that the COVID cases are quite good nowadays. So, yeah. Yeah, it's going well. And then we had our long holiday with Lunar New Year's, and that was lovely. And then let me just count this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this yarn that I'm using is the one that I showed you in the previous episode. It's the Kartopu Organica. And then the other yarn that I had here, this black one with pardon me, this one is cottony. This is my go-to matte DK weight yarn, and this one is a mercerized cotton, so it's a little bit shiny, but I love this color. I'm making a fox and I just thought that this kind of like taupey color is so pretty. I made a orange fox already, and I'll insert the picture somewhere that you can see. And yeah, so I want to make a I wrote it down, but right now I'm just checking as sometimes I find that I'm so excited while I'm making that I just keep going, and then I don't write it down, and then when I'm looking at the stitches I'm like, oh boy. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. And yeah, how are you all doing? I have to say, I was reading some of the comments from the previous episodes, and the one I think it was week 8, the one where I was talking about my grandmother and her time during the war and the persimmon story, and so many of you could relate and offered me so much love. That was really lovely to read. Thank you so much for your kindness. Yeah, I really, the thing is, like, she's the one that pretty much raised me, and she's the one that taught me how to cook, and she's the one that kind of she was like my main influence. And I'll talk a little bit more about her because she is a very tiny woman. She's a lot smaller than me, or was a lot smaller than me because she passed away a number of years ago. But she was very sweet, and she was very calm, unlike me. I'm a calm person, but I can get chatty sometimes, and I can get very excited, and I don't know if that's my upbringing, growing up in America, where we were encouraged to speak up and to be ourselves, and like the manners are still there, of course, but in Asian culture, actually, at least when my grandmother was small, it was like I think it was a different time, different expectations. So she's very calm, and she's a very elegant woman, and she was an amazing painter. She did a lot of is it called landscape paintings. Basically, she would draw, like, I don't know what it's called in English, but it's like she would draw like a field or a pond or, lotus flowers, cranes, and things like that from Japan. And when I was growing up, there were so many of these paintings all over my home. And she was quite young when she left Japan, and she was teaching me those things. And I forgot everything because I was a kid when she taught me all this stuff, but I still remember her beautiful paintings. So yeah, I really miss her so much. And I feel like if she were alive, she would really love my son to pieces, because he's also very sweet, and he's very gentle, and he's very still, very calm. And he just, I'm his mother, so I feel like it's kind of like I'm bragging, but he just sees the best in everyone, even the people that are not so nice. And even me, like sometimes, I'm tired, and he will just say like, don't worry, Amma, just go relax. And I'm like, oh, you're so nice. So I feel like, a little bit of my grandmother was passed down to my grandson, her grandson. I don't have grandkids yet. I hope one day I do, but I don't have grandkids yet. And yeah, I feel just so, I don't know, when I see my son, it reminds me of my grandmother, and it makes me really happy, even though she's not around. It makes me feel like that a piece of her is still here, and it's really nice. And a lot of people who know me personally, in real life, because a lot of you I've met just online because of the series, or maybe I met just chatting away from Instagram maybe. However, people that know us in real life, and my friends in real life, in person, when they see my son, and they say he is literally a carbon copy of me. And the other day, I try to make it a point to take at least one picture a day with him, and not just of him, but I've been noticing that since he was born, I've been taking so many pictures just of him, and then not of us as a family. And I really want to focus on that, because when he grows up, I want him to see our faces, and I want him to see my face and his daddy, my husband's face, and see us gradually getting older, so that he has many, many memories of not just him growing up. So I'm making it a point. I wish I would have done it, earlier, but oh my goodness, I just forgot what I'm doing here. Excuse me for a second. This is why sometimes it's like a real meet up with a friend, because this is what I would do if I met up with a friend for coffee. I would be like, oh, just 1 second, let me count my rounds. So let's see here. I have it in case 1 and 2. Okay, I was just making sure, because I don't want to undo this whole thing. But yeah, so that is a focus that I'm trying to do more, and it's better late than never, right? So yeah, and then I spent the Lunar New Year, talking to my son about my grandma, and telling him about all the wonderful things that she has done, and everything that's so great about her. And I broke down in tears when I was telling him about how much I miss her. And like he started crying too, which it's like empathetic tears, and it meant a lot. It's meant a lot to me. And I'm so amazed that a human so young can be so empathetic and kind. And anyway, it's just, I'm just amazed by children and their ability to just be so wonderful and unaffected by, like, we grow up and we have, I don't even know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. It's just, I just think kids are brilliant and they're so free, and, you know, they have so much love and they want so much love. So I think it's just great, just great, just great. So yeah, anyway, that was a big tangent. And what else has been going on? So I know that I talked about wanting to publish a book in the near future this year. So there, I think I told you about, there are a few options. Like I have a chapter book that I'm working on slowly. It's not ready yet, anywhere near ready. And I also have a picture book that I'm working on. And then I'm also hoping to do a picture book without words, but using crochet. So that's been in the works for many years. It's just that I haven't had any time. Oh, I haven't had any time since this pandemic because, you know, we've been home since February 2020. And it's hard to believe that it's been an entire year of this. But I feel hopeful since my son is back at school, and you know, it's just, I mean, it's a half day, and they're doing social distancing at school, and they're being really, really wonderful about it. So, very nice. Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on over here. Aside from that, nothing much is going on. I had a friend over yesterday. It's my same friend that I always talk about, Jamie, and you know, it's always nice to see her, and I feel like very revived after I see her and have like a boost of energy. And I feel like I'm sure you feel that way too when you see a friend that you really trust and that you really care about a lot. And we were just, you know, catching up. I haven't seen her in like 2 weeks, and she came over, and you know, it was just really nice. And yeah, I can't wait for things to get back to normal again, because as introverted as I am, like I'm usually a super homebody. I usually don't care to go out, but kind of care to go out now after a year of staying home. So yeah, I don't know. Is it better where you are? Because I know a lot of you are not in Asia. A lot of you are in Europe and America, North America. So let me know. I really hope that the numbers are getting better. I was talking to a lot of my friends from New York and California, and a lot of them are getting their vaccines, which is absolutely wonderful. So I hope that things will get normalized soon, and that would be awesome, I think. So yeah, this is coming along nicely. I actually like the way this looks. I love making tiny amigurumi, and usually when I use thin yarn, it really hurts my hands. But this Cartopo Organica is actually quite nice. It's not burning my hands as I'm working with it, so that's super lovely. And then yeah, so I'm trying to make this fox, and the one that I made was like super tiny like this, and then I used Aran weight yarn and it became like this big. And so I wrote down what I did for the bigger one, and then so I'm trying it out but with thinner yarn because I want the actual doll to be really small. And this is the largest it's going to be, the width wise, right? This is the top of the head. I think it looks really good, the size, because then, you know, you could stick it in your pocket, and it's really nice to do it that way. So yeah, and yeah, I'm just plugging along over here and hoping to get this filmed while my son is in school. And also it's, you know, he's in school but still half day, so when he comes home he'll have to do the second half of the day online. But it's a big improvement from doing it all day every day. So hopefully he's having fun with his friends. He must miss his friends so very much. I miss his friends. He needs that social interaction, you know, and then so do we as adults, right? We need our friend time. And so that's the whole reason why I started this Hook and Chat. But then also after these, 10 episodes, I was thinking that I'm kind of, I feel like because there's nobody here to talk to, that I'm running out of things to talk about and can't really, even when I write things down to tell you, and there's not really much news that's going on, but I figured since these are pre-recorded, if you are missing friend time, you could definitely rewatch it so it feels like I'm there with you. And then, when things kind of calm down over here and I gather some more time because, I need to work on these books because I want to get them edited and I have to get the pictures and everything done. And so it means like I have to actually spend my time making it, and I can't really make it on camera because I have a tripod here, and then I also have a ring light. It's a light that shines for videos, so that because my home, the lighting is not so good, so, and it's really hot, the ring light, so I can't really focus and work. So that's the reason why I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna take some time off of Hook and Chat so that I can focus on the projects that I want to do, and hopefully I can have that book published soon. At least if I have the materials done, then that's like half finished. Just need to either find a publisher or I don't know, maybe self-publish. I'm not really sure, but if you are interested, you can maybe let me know or follow along on my Instagram. I'll try to, update there more often. And of course, even though I'm taking a break, here and there, I might upload a vlog or two on my own personal YouTube channel. So you can follow me there at Anniegurumi on everything. Just, as long as the spelling is correct, right? Annie Gurumi, because there are other Annigurumis out there. So yeah, and you can follow me there, and then you can kind of like see what I'm up to. What else has happened recently? Nothing much has happened, to be honest. Hong Kong, the weather is back to being dreary again with rain, and it's like I wish it was like, sunny and cool, crisp weather, but now it's kind of like muggy and rainy, humid, and starting to get warm. So I feel like our winter is over. So yeah, that's about all that's going on, and I've been trying to allow myself every now and then to be able to make something like amigurumi or drawing or doodling or whatever without any reason, because sometimes when I'm so focused on wanting to do something that I don't actually enjoy the process, and then it just takes forever for me to finish. So I put all the projects that I told myself, I need to get this done, I need to get it done, I just put it aside. And then I said, you know what, it can wait. Let me just make something. And then that's kind of how this fox happened. I was rereading The Little Prince, and I loved The Little Prince as a kid because it was my first big kid book in Korean that I got from my aunt, and she had given it to me, and I loved this story. It was my first big kid chapter book in Korean, and I just loved the way that this little boy just, was just so free, and he was like saying that adults are too serious and things like that, and I just thought it was a very fun book. And then rereading it as an adult, my heart was just so touched reading it, especially towards the end, and when the fox is talking to the little prince and talking about taming someone. And so they're saying like, it's your responsibility once you've tamed someone, it's like it is a responsibility. And it's so true. Like once you become friends with somebody or you love somebody, it's your responsibility to, now they're your responsibility, right? Like to be a good person, to be a good friend. And it just really touched me a lot. And then also the ending, I totally read it in a different light. So if you haven't read it, you should. It's a really great book. And so I was making this fox inspired by that, and it just came together, which is amazing, because that's kind of how I work. Sometimes when I'm like inspired, and I mean, I guess that's not just me, that's everyone, right? it's when you're inspired, you just do it, and it just happens. And it was so magical to see my little fox. And yeah, and then I wanted to make a bigger version of it. So then here we are. So it's probably not going to look like a fox, because in this thickness of yarn, I don't have an orange that I like on hand. You know, if I were to order, then it's another story. But and then I thought, okay, well, this taupey color, it would kind of look like a wolf, I think. And foxes and wolves look kind of similar, right? So I'm trying it just to see. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I also hope that you're not too disappointed that this was the last episode for now. I will definitely try to bring it back. Thank you again for your understanding. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I think I've been so overwhelmed with so many things that I need to get done that I told myself I need a little bit of break and concentrate. So it should be good. It should be good. So I was wondering if I think I asked this in a previous episode, but I don't think I got many responses. But what is your favorite yarn? If you are working with cotton, what is your favorite yarn for what purpose? So for me, cotton, I use cotton for nearly everything, but especially Anniegurumi. So I'm wondering what your favorite Anniegurumi cotton yarn is, or other cotton yarn. So let me know. I would love to hear your responses, because this one I actually really love, because it's just coming along very nicely and it's looking beautiful. Yeah, actually this yarn was recommended to me by Anniegurumi, and she was telling me she really likes this yarn a lot, and I do too actually. It's so nice. And I don't know if you can see the stitch definition is quite lovely, and it's like, it has a sheen to it, and it doesn't split, which is one of the main reasons I love this yarn. Like, no matter how much I frog this yarn, it will not split, and it's very, very nice. What is it? The other day, what did we do the other day? Yeah, we've been going on small walks around the neighborhood, and you know, our neighborhood thankfully doesn't have any COVID cases, so we've been venturing out a little bit more, and we take long walks here and there, and it's done wonders for my mental health to be able to go out a little bit. And yeah, it's been really nice, and I keep telling my son to savor this moment, being able to go out and walk around. And we've been taking pictures of different plants that we see, but you know, because it's our neighborhood, they're kind of all the same plants. And I tell him to run around and get some fresh air, so that way he gets some exercise. We try to exercise at home as well, but you know, it's like not really the same, right? To like, instead of going out for a long walk, I just realized that I need to switch to white. So let me do that. Yeah, I'm using Kartopu Organica for the white as well. And as you can see, I've used a lot of it because I use it to add details to my dolls sometimes. But yeah, let me add this here. Okay. Yeah, so I've been good. I've been really good. I cannot complain. Things have been really good here, and I've been trying to look for another book to read. Before the pandemic, I was like reading like a crazy person. I was like reading so much because I love to read, and I have a separate little tiny notebook where I write down all the quotes that I love, and every time I find a quote that I love and I feel moved by it, I just scribble it down really quick in my notebook. And yeah, and I refer back to it to do my Instagram post or my social media posts to caption my pictures. And so yeah, I'm like I'm starting to run out of quotes because I've pretty much over the years used all of them. And because normally I read a book, maybe one book every month or month and a half, and haven't been able to read anything these days because my son has been home. So, I actually read together with him. He's reading some chapter books. So he loves me to read them out loud because he likes me to act out the voices. So I will make each character sound different to make it really interesting, and then we talk about what happened. And after that's done, it's like, I have other things that I need to do, so I haven't been able to read. But now that he's gone back to school half day, maybe I can tuck in a little bit of reading time here and there, which would be lovely. I miss it so much. Yeah, so if you have book recommendations, please let me know. I'm trying to think of past books that I read that I really enjoyed. Let's see, what is the last book that I read that I really just loved? Well, I mean, this is not something that I've recently read. I read this a long time ago when I was, younger, and then I reread it as an adult again. But I loved The Princess Bride, the book. It's so funny. And it's, oh no, what have I done here? Oh, no, it's okay. Anyway, that book is a great book. If you haven't read that, you should. It's a really, really, really funny book. And I like books that are like that make me laugh. I also like books that are just, have beautiful, beautiful quotes in it. Like I love, some Shakespeare. Like I love Much Ado About Nothing. I really thought that was just so hilarious. I like reading that. And I also read, I read the Michelle Obama book, and I love that. I love the Michelle Obama book. And I'll tell you the reason why I love the Michelle Obama book, because I felt like as I was reading it that I was sitting with a friend like I am now with you, and having just a chat and a coffee and getting to know my friend. And I just really loved reading it a lot. And I reread it twice, and I just found her life so fascinating. And I didn't know all that much about her when she was First Lady, but I did like her a lot. I like the way she carries herself. I like the way she speaks, and I like the way that she parents. And she's just, I just felt she's just very classy and intelligent, and is. She still is. So then I read her book, and I just love it. I loved it so much, and it made me want to be her friend. Made me want to be her friend. So I really enjoyed that. That was probably one of the more recent books that I read. And then I read a Jenna Fisher book. Her the girl from The Office, Pam. I read her book. It was very cute. It was a very cute book. And not really my favorite book, but again, it felt like I was just sitting with her and chatting. And then what else have I read recently? Oh, I also read Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. So I don't know if you are familiar with Jay Shetty, but he's like an inspirational speaker who used to be a monk. And his book, it was just, for self-improvement and inspiration. So I read that, and I really, really liked it. It was a very big book. That took a long time to read. And it was very lovely, and it gave me such quite a bit of tools for self-confidence and self-growth, self-love, and I really enjoyed that a lot. And I'm also I should probably finish the book that I already have. I have a book at home about Chinese history, and I said it before, I'll say it again. I love history because it's like real life reality show. I don't like reality shows, but it was like real life reality shows, right? It's like, oh, it really happened. This is so amazing. So I love reading history books. And then I was reading this Chinese history book, and it goes through the different eras, and it's just like it plays out like a movie, which is really, really great. But it's so big that I have to take it in chunks, because otherwise, like, I will not read anything else. So I'm looking forward to finishing that book. And then I also have a linguistics book, like a Chinese linguistics book about like the history of written Chinese. And that's so interesting because it's based on pictures. So Chinese characters are like, you know, they made each character words to mimic what you're seeing. So like water and trees, mountains, they look similar to the real thing. And I just found it fascinating. And so I was reading that too. Reading so many random things, but I'm looking for something that is a little bit not as thick, because all of the books that I read are like this big. Same with my son, like the chapter book that we're reading right now is like this big. So I'm looking for something that is not quite not so big, you know. So anyway, yeah, we're at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to try to wrap it up a little bit because my son is only at school half day, so I don't really have a lot of time to record. And I thank you so much for your understanding. I know many of you have looked forward to these episodes, and me too. And I promise that I'll come back and do it again when I get a little bit of free time. But like I said before, you can head over to all my social media platforms at Anniegurumi, and you can also find me on YouTube as well. I'll try to update little snippets here and there. And I want to actually give a really, really huge thank you to my friends at Hopium Yarns, because of them, I was able to bring this series. Because if I were to do it on my own, I don't think that I would have met most of you. And I'm very thankful for that. So I'm going to cut it off short here for now, but this is not a complete goodbye. I will see you again very, very soon after I have kind of like brainstormed a bit and kind of planned it out a little bit better. And I will see you again in the near future. So please take care of yourselves and find me on Instagram. And I'll see you soon. Bye.